She is just going from person to person trying to see where she stands at this point. I'm just like, "Lauren, you acting like there's a $1,000,000 prize at the end or something." I'm like, "It's okay." You look kinda desperate. So anyway, Lauren says she wants to deepen her connection with Vince, okay, out of nowhere. And again, I just thought that looked like a desperation move. You know Vince and you and Vince don't rock like that. Y'all have had so many run-ins. Um, I don't think Vince is into her after everything that has happened, but, they have a sit down and he says, "You know what? I am open to apologizing to your friends." And she was like, "Oh, word? Well, Imma call him right here. Here she go." I was like, "Dang, Lauren." I thought that was so rude. Because he was like, "Wait, I gotta consent to that." What's up, y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Mini Thoughts with Dr. T. Today, we are talking about Ready to Love Season 11, Episode 10, okay? When we left off, we were at the getaway. Let me put that up. Um, off from the previous show, one of the ladies still had to go home. I thought it was going to be between Shannon and Lauren. I figured Lauren was going to go home. I just didn't think anybody had a deep enough connection with her. To my surprise, Shannon actually ended up going home. So I was disappointed in that because, well, actually, when Divine went home last episode, I did think that was the writing in the sand for Shannon. I thought that they would have made a really good couple, but with him going home, you could tell she was just trying really hard to try to get deep in her other connections, and it was a little bit too late. Um, I always and I get it, but, whenever somebody gets kicked off and they are just so emotional, it reminded me of, Rose last season when she got kicked off and she was just boohooing, and I'm just like, "It's really no reason for that. These are 10 random men. Chances are your person isn't here. I mean, it's just 10 people. I see if it was like 100 men, then I could see you being like, "Dang, I couldn't find anybody out of 100 people." 10 random, I mean, half of them are gone at this point anyway, um, yeah, so that was that. I think that might be all of the women that are getting cut. I think this is it. I think it's like one more woman, one more man, but, I definitely thought Lauren was gonna be definitely next for sure if there's another one, but I think this is it for the women. Alright, so then let's go over to Lauren and Steven. So now, Lauren is a little scared. She was on the chopping block. So now we can see her making her rounds. So she is in the room with Steven and just telling him how she's unsure of where she stands with her connections. And she wants to hear that she's in someone's top. So that's her whole thing now, right? She's going to make the whole show about wanting to know that she's in somebody's top. And I feel like that happens organically. If you have to go around badgering people and asking them and stuff like that, you're probably just not, and it's okay. Like I said, this is just a show. It's cool. So, she doesn't wanna be anybody's side, anybody's default, and so Steven is trying to reassure her, that they are good, and, I was just wondering, like, whatever happened with Steven and Ashante? Like, isn't that weird? Remember how connected they were? Unless they were just talking it up on camera, but I just thought they were locked in, and you kinda just don't even hear or see about them anymore. So then we go over to Bello and Lauren. So again, Lauren's making her rounds. So now she's talking to Bello, and she notices that like they're I think they're in the kitchen living room area. She's talking to him, and then she notices when Dominique comes in the room, he starts like kind of looking. You know how you're talking to somebody, but you kinda trying to make it seem like, "Yeah, I'm just talking to them, but you know it's you." So he keeps, like, looking at her, like, letting her know, like, "Yeah, this ain't nothing, like, it's all good, I kinda gotta do this, it's part of the game." But it was rude, and it was making Lauren feel, really uncomfortable. But this is why I love the getaways so much. I love to see the men squirm. So I love that, Ready to Love has made this, a part of every season. 'Cause, you can say all this stuff to one person and this one and that one, but when everybody's together, it's really difficult to try to split up your time and make sure nobody feels jealous or like you're not pursuing them. So I always like this part. So you can see Bellows trying to do his best, but inevitably, you're going to make somebody feel less than. And in this situation, it was Lauren. So then we started talking about these succulent plants that I think this Stephen led this where they all had to pick a person or people and paint or you do some type of theme on this succulent plant. And so they did that earlier in the day and now it was time to give those away. Um so Bello and Dominique exchanged theirs, obviously, but obvious to us, the audience, but I don't think it was I think this was the first time everybody in the house really realized like, "Oh, like, y'all are locked in for real." You know what I mean? Um, I mean, I think everybody knew that they were a thing, but, I mean, basically, it was like, this is yours." I think they even kissed on the mouth or something. And Cardi was like, "Oh," and Lauren was like, "Oh," and Ashanti was like, "Oh." So, yeah, that would have been all I needed to see after that. So they are locked in for sure. Cardi and Ashanti exchanged, theirs, and again, I'm just like, "Ashanti, what happened to Steven? Like, how did you get on the Cardi train?" We knew about Darius and Amber, so that wasn't a thing. Um So Lauren gave hers to Steven, and again, I was like I think she's just reaching at this point. I'm surprised she didn't give it to Bello though. Vince to Donna, which we knew about that, and, it was hilarious because, Steven gave one to everybody but Donna. So, he would and then this was, another situation where almost like Divine, where you kinda doing too much, you know what I'm saying? You trying to play a peacemaker, but you end up, spreading yourself too thin. So he gives one to everybody, and it's like, if you were gonna do that, why not just give one to Donna too? You know what I'm saying? But the succulent thing, that was very eye-opening. I like that task that they had to do. It was very sneaky, but it was eye-opening because you were able to see who is for real locked in with who. Alright, so then we go over to Darius and Amber. So Amber wants to know, if Darius is putting on a front. Um I agree with Amber here. I can't put my finger on it with Darius, but I too am waiting for the other shoe to drop, like I think Amber is. Um, there's something amiss. I just think there's something amiss. I still don't like that I'm not saying I don't like the kids, but I don't like that he has 4 kids. Okay, I'm not sure how many I think Amber had maybe has 1 or something like that. It's too much. It's too much, and I can't, right? So I would've been out there. Wasn't he married before? It's just a lot going on. She wants to get deep with him to understand if he is putting on the front, but in my opinion, she's not asking any deep questions, any follow-ups. I don't know if she's just not asking them on the camera for us to see. But, like, for example, she asked him, she was like, "'Cause one thing that's real big with me is, God, 'cause I serve God." You know what he said? He was like, "I like that you serve God." Now, remember, she asked him, she was like, "That's who I serve," you know what I'm saying? "That's who lead me. Now what about you?" And he was like, "You know what? I like that about you. I like that you serve God. Like, I like that that's who leads your life." I was like, "Amber, that wasn't the question. Like, follow up. What's going on?" And she was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, ha." So I feel like this might be partially on Amber Ashley. I don't know what I've been calling her. I think it's partially her fault. I just don't think she's getting deep enough. And if you're not deep with him, he's the type of person that's gonna keep it real surface, in my opinion. So I'm still waiting for that other shoe to drop. And we had the previews of next episode, and I think it's gonna prove me right. But I'm just like, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Okay, so then we go over to Vince and Lauren. This was hilarious as well. Lauren just as you can like I was saying, she is just going from person to person trying to see where she stands at this point. I'm just like, Lauren, you acting like there's $1 million prize at the end or something. Like, it's okay. You look kind of desperate. So anyway, Lauren says she wants to deepen her connection with Vince. Okay, out of nowhere. And again, I just thought that looked like a desperation move. Vincent, you and Vince don't rock like that. Y'all have had so many run-ins. Um, I don't think Vince is into her after everything that has happened. But, they have a sit down and he says, you know what, I am open to apologizing to your friends. And she was like, oh, word, well, I'm gonna call him right here. Here she go. I was like, dang, Lauren. I thought that was so rude. Because he was like, wait, I gotta consent to that. I thought they would have got into a whole argument about that. No, because I got to consent. You gotta allow me to you know how Vince be doing. So, but I thought that was really rude. I don't think you should put people on the spot like that. You can be like, "Oh, did you wanna apologize to them? Oh, okay, well, I don't mind calling them if you want to, I can call them." You know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh, yep, I'm calling them here." I thought that was really weird. And she was really enjoying that and got something out of that. So I wouldn't Lauren, um, I don't think that's gonna deepen their connection. I don't care what nobody is saying. I don't care what Vince is saying in his confessional. He does not want her. I know he's like, "Oh yeah, that deep and dark connection." I'm like, "No, he does not want her." That I feel like they are two very strong-minded individuals and they would be getting into it all of the time. So I definitely don't think they would work at all. So then we go over to Cardi and Dominique. This is another one where I think Cardi is fishing right now, just trying to see where he stands with different people, specifically Dominique. And so he tells her that he wishes they had more time together on the getaway. And of course, she's like, I mean, nothing was stopping you. You kind of just did that on your own. And she tells him, it's kind of too late. I mean, she doesn't say that, but in a roundabout way. She likes people that pursues her. She likes to be chased. She doesn't like to do the chasing. And so she felt like Cardi should have stepped up and really took advantage of the trip, of the moment, pulled her aside, and he didn't do any of that. And then he's trying to double back after the getaway and kind of had this date and all that. And I don't think she was buying it. I think he knows it's over too. So I think they both know this isn't going anywhere from that. And then we have Bello and Dominique. Um, I'm sorry, I put the wrong thing on here. It is actually, was it Bello or Dominique? Oh, no, 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 no. It was, let me fix that. It was Ashante. Yeah, it was Bello and I don't know if I'm spelling her name correctly, but, yeah, Bello and Ashante. So and again, this is another one. I'm not sure why Ashante is wasting her time either, like you seen the getaway. I just think everybody's fishing and trying to like secure their spot at this point. I didn't think it was anything that Ashante was gonna say or do to have Bello choose her over Dominique. Like I didn't think it was anything she could possibly say or do, in my opinion. So I just kind of thought she was wasting her time. Now I have thought and I do think that he is, intrigued by Ashanti, and, I do think he would like her as a good friend. I think they always have good conversation. They've done that since, the show had started. They were even here, they were discussing about how their childhood started a little shaky, but they were able to get themselves like back on the right path and that type of thing. So they always have good conversations. I think he likes her intelligence, her ability to be outside of the box. But as far as choosing her number one, I don't see it. So then it is time for the ladies' lounge. Lauren says Vince called her friends to apologize. He said, if this is what it's going to take, then I'm going to do it. And I was just like, that's not how it happened, Lauren. He did not. That was not it. No, you called your friends. Vince did not call your friends, but okay. Um, and then Ashley says her car is in the shop and Darius let her drive his, so she is all locked in with him. And you know what, y'all? When she said that, it finally clicked for me. I think what it is, because like I said, it's something about Darius. I can't put my finger on it, but since episode one, I was like, he gonna do too much. Like something is amiss here. Whole season, non-problematic. When she said something was wrong with her car, he let her drive his. I think what it is, I think Darius is all about appearances. I think that's what I'm picking up on. I really can tell when people are performing and they're not being their true authentic selves. I think that because although this is a show, obviously, at some point you kind of lose track of the cameras and forget the cameras are there and you just start being yourself. You've seen everybody have some type of slip up or mess up or something, right? But not Darius. Darius is like, oh yeah, absolutely, you right, and I like how you did that there, and see, and it's just like everything's so perfect. Hair is always to the to the nines, immaculately dressed, and I think he is uber concerned and hyper vigilant about the cameras and about how he comes off and how he's presented. I think he's like very, very, very concerned about that. And that's why I think every scene we see with him is so perfect. He's always saying the right thing. He always has just the perfect line. Um, and then so this fed into that too. He's like, "Oh, your car? Okay, yeah, you can drive mine." Because he knew she would tell us and that would make him look even better. So I think he's very, very concerned about that piece. And I would just be curious if I was Ashley, I would be curious once the cameras go down to see how his behavior changes. That's what if she's really into him for real, I would definitely wanna see, like, after the show is over, nobody's filming, she's not going back telling the ladies, "Oh, yeah, he did this and that." Does his behavior stay consistent? So anyway, ladies lounge, after everybody went around and said their piece, I thought it was gonna be between Cardi and, Steven. They seem to have the least connections. Um Steven, like I said, I think was spreading himself too thin. I don't think Carday at this point has any number one connection. So I thought Carday was gonna go home. So time from elimination, I was right. Carday did end up going home. But I do want to say, let's clap it up for Carday. If y'all remember the disaster he was on episode 1, just how nervous and weird he was, to make it all the way to the end was amazing. It's almost like, um, your girl from last year, who was the one I can't remember her name, but she was a little hood, and she almost got eliminated, like, twice on in the beginning, but she ended up making it all the way to the end, so I think this is Cardi's story as well, so to rebound, get it together, make some connections. He did a good job. He did a good job, so he should feel proud of himself. Um, but the shocker was that Steven went home too. Cause I'm taking my notes and I'm like, okay, show's over. I close my laptop. I'm about to get up. I still got the show on or whatever. He's like, Steven, you're not ready to live. I was like, wait, what? So I had to open my laptop back up. But Yeah, so that was shocker. I didn't know we were sending 2 men home. Um, and then too, like I said, Steven, what got him in trouble was the same thing that got Devon in trouble, and that was trying to spread yourself too thin and trying to play the game in the process. And this show is so tricky. I understand. But and I think one of the ladies may alluded to it too, at some point, you do have to say, "Okay, I know I'm kinda keeping everybody in rotation so I can stay on the show, so I keep my options available." But at some point, you do need to say, "Okay, XYZ is my number 1." Or you don't have to even say it, but you show it, right? So on the getaway, that's when he should have been linking with whoever. Again, I don't know what happened with him and Ashante. I thought that was so weird. I thought they were perfect for each other. So I don't know how they fell off. After they fell through, I think he was also trying to search for whoever. I don't really think there was anybody at the house that he truly was locking in with like that. And it's okay. Like I said, this is just a game show. It's cool. But I think you can always tell when the men are like, "Well, I'm on this show. I kinda gotta go through with it, but there's nobody that I really like that." Because you can tell when a guy really is into somebody like Bellows, into Dominique, and Darius is into Ashley, you know, but so, yeah, so there we have it. I don't know how many more shows we have left. I know because next show will be 11. So I'm thinking next one will probably be it, and then they'll have the reunion with episode 12. But anyway, I will talk to you guys later and see you next episode. See ya.